Hey everybody, John here with Misadventures in Wrenching. In this episode, we're going to be spending a little more time on Miss Terry's 2005 Volkswagen Beetle that we picked up a couple of weeks ago. She loves this car. She's always wanted this car, but beauty is only skin deep on this car. It's got some issues still. One of the worst, well, besides being black on black on black, and the AC doesn't work, but we're going to take care of that shortly too, because Arizona, it is already getting up into the upper 80s, and it is the third week of March. But it pulls to the right, and it pulls to the right fairly hard, and it got even worse yesterday when she hit a pothole. So you let go of the steering wheel, you're doing some NASCAR. So anyway, let's find out. I think it's tie rods, but I could definitely be wrong. And let's get started. Well, we just watched it through the car wash, and one of the things I just noticed has nothing to do with our problem is it's getting water inside the lens. That'll all go away, but that's not good. It means the seal's bad. Now the air pressure should be fine on these, because we checked them the other day, and I will double check them, but I'm gonna have to get a jack on it. A mechanical point out is that regular lug wrenches don't work on this 4-ways because they're not small enough. These actually use the 17. So, me, I like to use a beefy ratchet and a cheater bar. And we'll go ahead and get this wheel off now, or at least loose. I was able to get all of these loose now, and so I'll jack it up the rest of the way. It does take a little bit of beef on it. Now, typical Volkswagen, these should be wheel studs that go through and not wheel lug nuts, which have a stud. Which makes for interesting life in getting these back on. But it is what it is when you're dealing with Porsche, Volkswagen, Audi. It appears loose a little bit, and not the tire. I can see that the boot is toast on this, but that's not really letting loose. But when that don't sound right, and I hear some clunking. So we'll get this tire off and hopefully get it up high enough to where I can crawl underneath and take a look. Got the one side off, and I got it down on a on a block, and this feels pretty tight. I don't hear or see any bouncing or anything. So we'll work on the other side. Actually, I think I'm going to have Miss Terry come out and start this up and rotate the wheel a little bit to see if something clunks or moves or whatever. Say hello, Miss Terry.
Hello.
All right, I'm going to have her work with me on this steering. I've got it straight in theory, but I want to look under the front. One tire on the ground, and she's going to rock it back and forth a little bit, and I'm going to see if there's anything that... So you don't start it yet. Just... Go ahead and move it just a little bit. Back and forth. I don't hear anything. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, is the wheel straight? And it pulls to the right, correct? Okay, slowly rock it back and forth. Hold on. Do that again. All right. Go ahead and start it. Now slowly go all the way from left to right a couple of times. Wow, that's tight. I'm not getting any movement all around at all. Okay, center it. Shut it off. Alright, well what we're going to do is we're going to swap out tires. I don't think that's the issue since these are newer tires. See if that changes it. And then take it probably down to an alignment shop because I'm not seeing anything like dramatically loose. All this seems pretty tight. It doesn't take a lot on these, but it's pulling severely to the right. So, okay, I don't know that this is normal on a Beetle, but I don't think I've ever seen this happen before. Okay, go ahead and turn it to the right. See how it's... Did you turn... No, keep going. All the way. See how that whole...
As far as it goes.
Okay, now turn it to the left. Now watch what that shaft is doing. That shaft is literally changing angles up inside the slot, and I don't know that it's supposed to do that. Keep going. And it becomes very pronounced as you do that. See how it's gone all the way to... So now we're going to go to the other side. Go ahead and straighten the wheel. Turn it all the way to the left and then to the right. Now this one does it too. Maybe it's supposed to. I just think it's really strange. I mean, it's supposed to have some give, but I didn't think that it should change the entire geometry of the... Okay, go ahead and recenter it. Alright, time for a little research. Well, I don't know how long it was recording, but this was on. But I found my culprit. See the rear control arm bushing on this side? It's just rattling in there. I was going to get an alignment, but there's no point. So I'll have her go ahead and cancel that. Now I know I'm going to have to replace the lower control arm. I'm not looking forward to that. Because I'll have to like jack up underneath the end over here, pull those out. I might be able to because it's only, looks like it's only 3 bolts right here on the bottom of the spindle. That looks pretty simple. Ball joint bolts to that, so I should be able to go straight to the ground and then pull these bolts out. We should be able to do that. But yeah, that's definitely it. Alright. Problem's not solved, but problem is identified. Well, I'm under test drive right now, and since I wiggled and jiggled and moved all the suspension parts up there, now it tracks ever so slightly to the left. Sometimes. There's no play in the steering wheel. That part's good. The steering wheel's straight. But yeah, when I'm on straight road, it's Like right now, it's drifting left. So we've gone from hard right to soft left. And I'm sure if I hit a big chuck hole, it's probably going to do something totally different. Fixing what I found wrong with it, that's going to be its own separate. Because I think I'm going to wind up doing the whole front suspension, which is both control arms. And I'll probably switch out to some performance coilovers rather than just go with replacement struts. And we'll just do the whole thing and make Miss Terry happy, I hope. And now's a good time to just ask, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, share, follow us here and on Facebook, because we want to keep doing this channel and getting you some good content, and maybe entertain, and maybe show a different perspective on some repairs.